Hi everyone! I am back. Sorry, I left YouTube since 2 months now because I didn't have any motivation. And as you know, I am still in Paris and it's like kind of lockdown here. Like we have to be at home at 6 o'clock. So I felt like I didn't have any motivation, to be honest, to film something. But then I have hope today. I have a hope today. So I want to speak about 5 books I read during this lockdown. So if you like reading, stay with me. If you don't like, leave this way. So let's start with the first book I read during this year. Let's talk about the first book. So the first book is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It's written by a Japanese author. So I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I better do not pronounce his name. And this book is about going back to the past. We follow several characters who want to go back to the past by going to a coffee shop, which is a time traveler. And why do they want to go back to the past? It's because they have some questions who has not been answered. So they try to find a way to get back to the past in order to have their answers. But there are some rules to follow in order to go back to the past. First of all, you have to drink coffee, which I love. So for me, it wouldn't be a problem. And secondly, you must go back to the present before the coffee gets cold. Otherwise, you become like a kind of ghost and you cannot come back to the present, like you're stuck in the past. So I don't think I would like to be stuck in the past. So yeah. And the big question here is, what would you do if you had the opportunity to go back to the past? And sorry, I mix like French and kind of Arabic here, I don't know. And who will you see if you had the opportunity to get back to the past? I don't know, let me know if you have any idea, because I have some, but I won't explain it here. So yeah, we have 4 characters here. Is one girl, she broke up with her boyfriend, and like he left her without any explanation, which is a bit strange. And the second character is someone who has been married to a man who lost his memory, and he wrote her a letter in order to express his feelings that he was losing his memories and some details about their marriage and their love, etc. The other character is a woman who had never the chance to meet her doctor. So yeah, so all of them want to go back to the past with following some rules, and if you don't, you just get stuck in the past. So that was the first book. Let's talk about the second one I read this year. So the second book is Les Illuminés from Hoda Barakat, and we are following a character called Khalil, and he is losing his memory because he has been kidnapped by some people, and inside this bus where he's kidnapped with other people, he's becoming crazy because he doesn't know if it's a reality or he's just becoming crazy in his head. And it's a mix between darkness of the war, love, and we are following him inside this kind of mix. Who he's also living in a Christian convent because he lost his mind, so his family is like putting him there to get saved. And he tells us as well how he fell in love with a woman, which is kind of impressive because he's Christian, Arabic, and he fell in love with a woman who is Muslim. So we are following their relationship. And to be honest, I didn't know if inside the book he was thinking this or it happened. I don't know if it happened or not. I think for sure it happened because he's describing the woman side by side, the hair, the personality, but she's already married. So, okay, we are like, she's married and she's Muslim. He's Christian. He has psychological issues. So it's very interesting. And we follow his therapy in his convent, also how he rebels with the doctors and he's fighting with people. Also, they beat him up sometimes because he doesn't want to listen properly. So it was a very interesting book. Jessica, if you are watching this, I will give it to you for the book club. Anyway, it has been complicated enough in this book. Let's talk about the third one. So, let's talk about the third book now. I don't know where to start, to be honest. The third book is How Britain Really Works, written by Stig Abel. So it's not like it's not a book which is talking about history. No. 6 months ago I was in UK and I wanted to know more about the country, how it works properly, the institution, economics, education, a lot of stuff where I was interested in because I was living there and I was thinking to live there permanently, to be honest. But then the COVID came and I don't know, I felt very isolated because my family is in Paris. I have also some family in the Netherlands and I was alone there and I was getting crazy. So anyway, so this is a book where you can find your answers about how does the economic works in the UK. Why are they so Europe-sceptic? Why do they want to leave Europe? Why are they talking always about Brexit? Here, well, I didn't read it, all of it, because to be honest, it's a kind of, first of all, it's a huge book. Secondly, the vocabulary is a very technical vocabulary. Even I made some resume in my notes. I mean, I understand he's talking about the parliament, and now I do understand how NHS is working. It's like free, but it's also overcrowded, the NHS. I don't know if it's because it's free. For me, when I check my salary every month, I am still paying, I think I'm still paying NHS inside. So free, yeah, I think it's a very technical book. So if you're not into technical books, don't read it, to be honest. I really love history, Churchill, etc. He's talking, I mean, his book is divided. He's first talking about politics, then it's education, health, military, law. So he's treating everything inside. If you don't like it, don't read it. Let's talk about the fourth and last, the fourth. It's critical, my English. So yeah, let's talk about the next one, please. Okay. So the next book here is Devenir, written by Michelle Obama. And in English, it's Becoming. So I read this one in French because already it was a huge book and it took me 1 year to read this. So I had no motivation to read it in English. I'm already speaking in English. It's good enough, I will say. So yeah, in this book we have a mix of emotions here, because she is talking about several topics. She's starting with her childhood, how she did socialize with other people inside her school, also how she did socialize with her family. We have like a strong description that she was very close to her family, especially her father, who is called Fraser. He was working in a water treatment plant, and she saw him struggling every day, coming back from work very tired, and she had like a vision of her father, a positive vision of her father, because he had strong working ethics. He never complained. He never was negative. She said she really have these souvenirs of them, which is very I get very emotional when I read this. And it's a very interesting book, because we follow her as well when she is going inside the University of Princeton, and afterwards she's going to Harvard. And also she's meeting her future husband, Barack Obama. So she struggled as well, and it's a mix between success and struggles, because also she's talking about the other side of America, where Black people were not always accepted, which is, I think, when I think about this time, it's crazy. It's crazy. Because of color, because of your color of skin, you are not accepted in a society. For what reason, guys? That's crazy, to be honest. And we all know that these kind of people are still existing on Earth, so I would say shame on you. Disclaimer. So yeah, we also have her emotions when she lost her dad, and yeah, it's very sad. We have some pictures as well here, which is very interesting. Well, if you can see, this is her father and mom here. We have her here at school. She was also talking about her friends inside. Yeah. Here she's in Princeton. Yeah. So it's a very, very, very interesting book. We have her wedding here. So it's a very inspirational book. So if you like the kind of biography books and also mixed with life experience, this book is for you. So now let's talk about the last one and the last book I read this year. It's a very interesting one for me. The last book, yes, because I'm tired to speak English. It's a huge work for me. Huh? We always say that French people don't speak English. I'm sorry, it's not my case. No, it's a joke. So the last one is in French. I read it in French. So the title in French is Comment devenir un optimiste contagieux. In English, it's The Happiness Advantage. Okay, very simple. So this book is talking about optimism and the benefits of optimism on you, and also the impact on our daily lives. So also is talking about negativity, but negativity in the working environment, in the family environment, and he is kind of making a huge research in this book about how to become optimist. So I will give you some details. So basically he's saying that we have to reshape our brains. How do we do this? So how do we stay away from negativity? He's talking about psychologically positive psychology. Positive psychologically. Psychology positive. Anyway, you understand me, I hope. Positive psychology. It's positive psychology. Okay, pause. Okay, so he's talking about positive psychology on individuals, so like me, and the society. So he's observing how the well-being effect on us, individuals, and the society. What is the conclusion of this book? He says that it's happiness who has an impact on the productivity and not the contrary. We have sometimes we think that productivity is creating happiness. For me, it doesn't work at all. No. For me, if I am happy in my life, I am very productive at my work in general. If I don't have any time to relax, and it's kind of messed up in my personal life, disconnection. So he's talking about this effect, the optimism. How do we do to avoid negativity? What are the secrets inside? And he's giving here 5 points. So first of all, try to get happy. How? Doing some activities you like. Don't focus too much on work. I mean, the work is important, but it's not all of it. Sometimes I'm like also thinking some people are always leaving for their work. Oh, no, I stay at work until 9 o'clock. No, forget this, please, if you want to be happy. Oh la la. Then the capacity to explore our potential and our motivation, because it doesn't mean that you have potential that you are motivated. It's not linked. You can have potential. Everyone has potential, and you can be like you don't have any motivation like me, because as you know, I left here YouTube since 2 months. I didn't have any motivation. And how we think, how we deal with our emotion for him has an impact on our work and productivity, and also on our personal life. How do we deal? So the third point is, how do we deal with issues and in life in general and in work organization? If we focus too much on problems, on our problems, we won't see like the exit of this. We only think problems. It's finito. It creates negativity, but also the productivity is decreasing. We know this. I don't think it's new. And the fifth point here is taking control of our emotions, which is very, very interesting. I mean, it helps us to focus more, but we need also proper goals we need to have goals in order to achieve them, so we can deal with our emotion. If you have big goals, big projects, which are not really realistic, you can just be demotivated, and again we are back to the negativity. I think this book is very interesting, but for me, sometimes we have the limit between the psychology and the reality is complicated to understand. Even I studied psychology of teenagers, but it doesn't help me to understand everything, to be honest. Anyway, I am very optimistic, but during this pandemic, During this pandemic, to be honest, my motivation is decreasing. Shauna, sure, you are very nice, but I am stuck in this room. And secondly, we have to be back at 6 o'clock in the house, so there is no way to relax, if you understand. There is no way to do some activities outside. The shops are open until 6 o'clock, but sorry, we work until more than 6 o'clock here. So about this book. So it's finished finally. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe I will be back soon for another topic about something. I don't know yet. And take care of you, and we see you next time. Hasta luego. Marcelo.